In my feature request at the Web We Want, I asked for a DOM order viewer built into developer tools. A screen reader, for example, presents the page to a user based on source order. A layout that visually shuffles the content can fail a WCAG review under 1.3.2 meaningful sequence and potentially 1.3.1 info and relationships. Flex, grid, floats, absolute positioning, and even table trickery can all do this, except now we are more readily embracing flex and grid as our overall layout tools. Too often we assume we can test for something falling out of order by tabbing through a screen. The problem with that approach is it only identifies interactive controls. Under WCAG 2.4.3 focus order, many developers are already comfortable testing this. Interactive controls can be easily tested by tabbing. Microsoft's Accessibility Insights tool already shows tab order. But non-interactive content is harder to test. It is also harder to present to stakeholders in a meaningful way. This is not new stuff. I first wrote about it in 2015, twice. It came up in the W3C CSS working group between my two posts, in response to a Mozilla Hacks article suggesting source order no longer mattered, which they quickly revised. Those who work in accessibility flagged this concern as well, including Leonie Watson, a blind screen reader user. Alistair Campbell also raised it. Rob Dodson raised it in a 2017 Google Accessibility Cast. Since then, we have seen others raise it in conference talks. Manuel Matuzovic mentioned it in his Dark Side of the Grid talk, and Rachel Andrews referenced it in many of hers. She recently wrote a post to remind Flex and Grid evangelizers that there is a real risk here. The good news is that some tools are at least making an effort to warn users, even if it is hidden away at the bottom of some general notes. In 2017, Jen Simmons solicited feature requests for the Firefox Grid Inspector and said blog posts were acceptable, so I wrote one and used it as a reference to the feature request I filed. Earlier this year, I filed it as a request with Microsoft Accessibility Insights. So that's the background out of the way. Now I want to demonstrate a real case where a page uses CSS Grid to lay out two columns of information. As sighted users, we will read the content horizontally before moving to the next line to get the intended meaning. As a screen reader user, it's a very different experience. This video is JAWS using Internet Explorer 11, though the effect is the same regardless of screen reader. Now let's say you want to find out the time for the first coffee break.
Heading level 5 day 1 May 16 clickable heading level 4 830-930 clickable heading level 4 930-945 clickable heading level 4 945-1035 clickable heading level 4 keynote clickable link graphic underline 2 underline nd.png heading level 4 1035-1105 clickable heading level 4 1105-1145 clickable heading level 4 presentation clickable link.
Okay, let's skip ahead to 52 seconds.
Clickable heading level 4 keynote clickable link graphic 8 underline th 200%.png heading level 4 2000 hours dash 1 o'clock clickable graphic button underline 1.png clickable heading level 5 day 1 May 16 clickable day 2 May 17 button heading level 4 registration and breakfast clickable heading level 4 opening clickable heading level 4 link typesetting for a global web heading level 5 link / Hui Jing Chen heading level 4 coffee break clickable heading level 4 link the challenges and pitfalls of server - side rendering heading level 5 link /
So that proved to be kind of useless. I want to show you quickly that could have been identified as a problem using a bookmarklet I wrote. No screen reader necessary. This bookmarklet is a proof of concept for the feature I have been requesting. You provide it the selector for the parent container and then provide the display property. It numbers each child in the order they appear in the DOM. You can visually see when something is amiss. Use my other bookmarklet, and it focuses each one in order to demonstrate the flow of the content. Also note that there were 30 other content containers between the event time and the name of the first break. We can see it and easily count it. That's it. That's the feature I want built into inspectors and testing tools. Maybe a little more guidance would be swell, such as drawing arrows to show the flow, as the Accessibility Insights tool does with tab order. Maybe also highlighting potential problems, such as when on a left-to-right page, such as English, noting when a subsequent item in the flow is both above and to the left of the previous item. If you have ideas, corrections, code, fixes, whatever, let me know. If you're a tool maker and want my code, let me know. I'm on the Twitters as Ardrian, Aardrian, or you can leave a comment on my blog. All these links are available on my site at adrianroselli.com/smashing, or scan the QR code. This video will be there as well. Even if this feature request goes nowhere, I hope I have given you enough context to understand some of the risks of using layout techniques without also considering the DOM order. Thank you.